What's the name?
Hello and welcome to round 7 of Grand Prix Pittsburgh. On the left of your screen we have Tom Martell, and on the right of your screen we've got gaudenis, vidugiris. I'm Ben Swartz, joined here in the booth by Ray Punzlon and Rashad Miller.
Yo!
Should be an exciting round. Tom is playing Cowboy deck, blue-white Cowboy, and we believe the scout that we have for gaudenis' deck is a Valakut. And
I just want to take a second also to thank Pez Professional Event Services, because they are the organizers who are running this event, and it's running smooth, and Mike Up was awesome.
Yep. Gaudenis wins the roll, and it looks like he is on Valakut. Projecting a sense of red with his red sleeves and Chandra Ablaze playmat.
That playmat is from Grand Prix Houston.
Yeah, were you at that Grand Prix?
I was. I think I covered it.
Yeah, I did too.
Nice question selection you got there. Hey, were you at the Grand Prix that we were both at?
I remember that Grand Prix in particular because it was Passover and I couldn't eat anything. And so there was a farmer's market across the street, and I bought like 3 pounds of strawberries, and that was all I ate the entire weekend.
Also remember that you brought cookies that you wouldn't share.
Yep.
But the round just started.
We didn't win any. Harmar Troll versus gaudenis vidugiris.
So,
You want to get in?
gaudenis mulligans.
Maybe they're untilted, so.
And should be an interesting matchup. This is the matchup that we saw the $75,000 tournament a couple weeks ago in Chicago play out in the finals. So, an interesting matchup. It's something better than all these call and calm mirrors.
Yeah, it's a pretty popular matchup, though,
Yeah.
throughout many standard tournaments.
So, it looks like Go is going to start it off with a Terramorphic Expanse, and Tom is going to match that with turn 1 Island Go.
Go's probably going to search out a forest here. That's what he does.
Yep, so, that's one of the things about the Valakut deck is it's pretty much a mono green deck with only like 4 or 5 forests, real forests, right? Like all of its spells are green, but it needs, all mountains to trigger Valakut consistently.
Usually 12 mountains, 4 Valakuts.
Yeah, that's usually the mix. 28 lands around that. So Go's going to draw first turn. He draws an Explorer.
Nice draw for his second turn.
But it doesn't look like he's got a second untapped land. He plays Evolving Wilds and says go. I was having a conversation with, I believe it was Matt Baccio earlier, asking what kind of person you are. You can tell what kind of person a guy is depending on how many Terramorphic Expanse they play in their Valakut deck or how many Evolving Wilds they play in their deck. You know what I'm talking about?
How do you tell what kind of person does Go? He played 1 of each so far.
If you have more Terramorphic Expanse, you're more of like a hardened, old-time player. If you've got, all Evolving Wilds, you're a new kid on the block.
How about if it's even?
A rapscallion. If you're even, you're in the middle, you don't know how to decide, you're an indecisive person. I'm pretty sure I could, read somebody's horoscope based on the number of Terramorphic Expanses / Evolving Wilds in their Valakut deck.
So basically we just have to ask people to build Valakut lists and see how many they put?
Yep.
We know everything about it.
Yeah, and so here Go plays a turn 3 Explorer. And let's see if he's got 2 lands to capitalize on that Explorer this turn.
He has
Looks like he's got Evolving Wilds and a Verdant Catacombs.
There you go.
So he won't be able to cast that second Explorer this turn, but, which means he won't be able to get a turn 4 Titan. But I see in his hand he's got Explorer, Inferno Titan, Primeval Titan, and Nature's Claim. So he's got the full gambit of Titans and extra spells.
Fancy pictures now, all in red.
Yeah, because the green screen was messing up.
That's not why.
Really?
Okay, maybe it is.
Yeah. So Tom here on his turn 3, he's going to cast, looks like Squadron Hawk and hold 1 mana up for Dismember.
Looks like he'll search up all the remaining 3 in the deck. Unless he has 1 in his hand. Oh no, he has a full grip actually, looks like.
So he's getting 1, yeah. So end of turn Go is going to get rid of his Evolving Wilds. So now he's seeing 2 Evolving Wilds in a little Terramorphic Expanse. Go search up a mountain.
So 2 Evolving Wilds, 1 more. So he's a new.
He's a kid.
He's a little kid. Little kid with experience.
Yeah, with a tiny bit of experience.
Trophy here and there.
Yeah.
I usually go with the 4-1 split.
Which one do you like? Terramorphic Expanse or Evolving Wilds? Which one do you have 4 of? Which one do you have 1 of?
Well, we know everything about you, depending what you pick.
Actually, I go with 3 Evolving Wilds and 2 Terramorphic
Really?
Expanse.
I thought we were friends.
Wow.
I thought I liked you.
That's what I do. That's how I do it.
Sorry, you're no longer my friend on Facebook. I gotta defriend you. Okay, so
There's a force drawn for Ghost's turn.
yeah, so he's gonna cast that Explorer and hope to ramp up to 6 mana this turn. He'll draw, and if that's a land, which it isn't, it's a colony heart expedition. So it's unfortunately A, drew a force this turn, and then B, drew his worst ramp spell on his critical turn, which is turn 4. So what he's gonna have to do this turn probably is play colony heart, play forest.
A lot of people are playing that colony heart instead of Overgrown Battlement just because of the number of dismembers, and it just ended up slowing them down way too much.
His internet. Yeah. Also, you want to. Every deck is playing Dismember now, so if you can build your deck in such a way that Dismember is dead in your opponent's, is always dead in your opponent's deck, that gives you a lot of what Zvi would call virtual card advantage, right?
Yeah. Looked like a Glacial Fortress was picked up for Tom in this turn.
Yeah, so Tom has another Hawk. He's got a Mana Leak. I believe that's a Timely Reinforcements in his hand. So Tom mulling over his options here. There you get a good look at Tom.
Didn't we get a good look at Tom at the sushi restaurant last night? or was that his Tom Martell's restaurant working doppelganger?
That was Tony Martin.
Oh, I think someone cast some type of shapeshifter targeting Tom Martell, and then got that person employed at the
sushi restaurant. Yep, yeah. The original fish market, no less. So Tom here is going to cast another Squadron Hawk and hold up 2 mana for that Mana Leak in his hand after fetching out 1 Hawk from his deck. So he's slowly, assembling a crew of Hawks. And end of turn, gaudenis is going to crack that Verdant Catacombs, put a counter on a Colony Heart Expedition. Sorry, it's not Timely Reinforcements in Tom's hand. It's Oblivion Ring, which goes along with the Into the Royal, extra Hawk, Dismember, and then a couple of lands to round out his hand.
I'm really glad Oblivion Ring's back. It's a great answer to most things, especially Planeswalker.
I'm really glad they also printed it uncommon, so it didn't really ruin limited.
Was it common at one point?
It was common in all the other sets.
It was pretty nice to see it in common. Answered everything.
So you saw Lucky Gaudenis, 2-time Grand Prix winner, champion. I know he's won at least 2, both limited.
1 in Tampa. What was his other one?
He won Denver.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
MTG Mom did say Ben Stark is here.
He is here? Okay. I haven't seen him.
No, I saw him earlier.
Oh, okay.
Keeping a low.
Yeah, why isn't MTG Mom here is the real question.
Everyone needs a break, especially your mom.
But she had a break last weekend. Anyway, Tom here is going to get in. It looks like gaudenis did not draw his 6th land to cast a Titan, and Tom is going to get in with 2 Hawks. So Tom's options here are probably cast another Hawk, and then hold up Mana Leak / Into the Royal Mana. That's probably his best course of action. He's getting a little lucky that gaudenis is, stuck on 5 lands in his, all mana ramp deck. But this is the kind of start you need if you don't have a sword. And even if Tom did have a sword, gaudenis has Nature's Claim to get rid of it. So that's one of the things we've seen about these new Cowboy decks is their matchup against Valakut is much worse because they, rely on naturally drawing their Sword of Feast and Famine instead of being able to cast turn 2.
And a lot of them were even skimping on swords. Jerry Thompson, for instance, was advocating just not playing sword.
Yep.
This is Jace Bellerin coming into play.
So yeah, Tom instead of playing a Hawk this turn is going to cast Chase, draw a card, hold up Mana Leak mana. He draws Gideon Draw. And actually, even if Gaudenis top decks a land and a Summoning Trap, it looks like he drew Summoning Trap this turn. He's like not even in that bad of a spot, or Tom's not even in that bad of a spot because Tom has Oblivion Ring to, numb the pain from the Titan.
Not before he gets to attack once, barring no resistance from Tom. You don't have to use Summoning Trap, get your effect, untap attack, but he didn't. I was thinking that, that Into the World could have been used on anything that got Summoning Trap into play, but instead it gets used right now.
Or on Oblivion Ring.
Mm-hmm.
So Tom's going to take another draw off Jace. And looks like he's going to play Tectonic Edge.
He did draw a Celestial Colonnade for a turn. Here's 2 of the Hawks coming in.
Dropping Go down to 14. Yeah, looks like, is that a Psychic Barrier in Tom's hand?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
A lot of people were putting that on their sideboard, but I didn't see it.
There's a few putting it in main deck just...
Maybe it's not. No, it is.
Just in anticipation of playing a more mirrors. A good way to stop their Hawk on turn 2.
Yeah, I was asking Jerry to explain it to me because it didn't seem to make sense. The 2-mana counter spell, pick up the land, seemed better. But his explanation was there's a bunch of 6-drops that you want to cast on 6, so, delaying yourself in the mirror one turn is, and there's cards that you want to counter, like Consecrated Sphinx. But isn't there a Remove Soul type effect legal? Or no? Isn't there one in M11? Wasn't
I can't
Revoke?
think.
What was...
I don't think there is.
Essence Scatter. Essence
Scatter. That's
maybe
gotta
it was
in M11, right?
Maybe it wasn't.
I think it's M10.
M10
even.
only. I know. Maybe somebody on the chat will make fun of us.
Yeah, they will. And then we'll pretend like we just magically remembered what it was.
So Gaudenis is going to replay his Colony Heart Expedition, further proving that he doesn't have another land. Looks like Gaudenis picked up another Summoning Trap. So if he ever cast a Titan and it gets countered, it's going to spell some trouble for Tom. But Tom's in a really good spot here. He's got multiple counter spells. He's got Gideon. He's got Psychic Barrier.
A couple mana leaks.
He can, take a. Gaudenis has afforded him quite a bit of time. So just the fact that Tom is able to get in with Hawks, lower Gaudenis' life total, and have answers for most of the threats that Gaudenis can play. This is not the kind of start that a Valakut player wants. And, this is kind of the perfect thing that a Callblade player wants to see on the opposite side of the table.
Valakut right now wants its game plan in effect. This is the turn where it should have already been in effect, maybe 2 turns ago.
Yeah.
And right now, it's basically I ramp to 5, which is 1 less than what I need, and I'm hoping to draw an actual land so that I can start playing the game again.
Yeah, Gaudenis draws a Valakut, which isn't going to help him because Tom has a...
Tectonic Edge.
Yeah, Tectonic Edge, of course, yeah.
Unfortunate for Gaudenis, but there might be a chance Tom just doesn't do it yet. I can't imagine him not.
You have to... at least it puts a counter on Colony Heart Expedition.
Celestial Colonnade picked up for Tom here.
So Tom, you win next turn because you attack for 4, attack Go down to 7, and then next turn you activate Colonnade and kill him. So Go has to have something this turn, but I don't think he needs to be able to cast that Inferno Titan. But didn't look like a land.
That was not.
It was a Rampant Growth, which doesn't look like it's going to do it. Now, what Go can do is cast Nature's Claim on his own Colony Heart Expedition to save him for a turn.
It's Colony Heart Expedition. It's enchantments or artifacts, or is it just artifacts?
Nature's Claim is artifact.
Or Nature's Claim, yeah.
But he has to imagine that spell isn't going to resolve, especially if he taps 2 mana to Rampant Growth, because now he's putting himself in mana leak, danger.
It doesn't matter because Tom has 2 mana leaks anyway, but Go's hoping that maybe Tom, doesn't get aggressive, is afraid of something like, I don't even know what card of Valakut deck would play that would kill a land. But
yeah, well, I guess if Tom does go for the win, then that leaves the door open for the game 4 life play.
Sure.
But still, he's still so far behind.
Even if he does the game 4 life play, he casts Inferno Titan and is still phasing out another 5 damage the next turn. So, he takes 4, voting 3, and then dies the next turn.
Go passes the turn there. See what Tom draws for his turn. He
looks
gets
like
another
mana
mana leak.
Now, if you have a handful of mana leaks, do you just attack and then keep your mana leaks up, or do you go for the win?
I think you kind of have to go for the win here. Because even if you activate, you still have mana leak back. Here, like...
Yeah, he does still have mana leak back. Ah, he should have Nature's Planed during combat.
Yeah.
Before attackers.
It doesn't matter. Like, Ghost still can't win from that position, so it's, it's worse to show your opponent, they're playing Nature's Claim, man, I don't know. But while we're waiting for them to sideboard, GamingEtc.com reminds you to always blame Kibler. If you go to GamingEtc.com, you can pick up your Blame Kibler apparel and Blame Kibler monster binders, and you can join the fun on Facebook at tinyurl.com/BlameKibler. Of course, if you use the coupon code GGsLive, you can save 10% off your entire purchase at GamingEtc.com.
So, Shot, someone tweeted out there that it wasn't Tony Martin at the restaurant. It was actually Rob Van Humphries. Rob Van Humphries.
That was Robe Van Humphries? I've been looking for that guy. I thought he was in the feature match a couple of rounds ago. But
He's actually just working at the restaurant at the hotel.
You know what? Robe Van Humphries, if you're out there listening, this is your shout out. This is it. This is your 10 seconds of fame.
On GG's Live. How many viewers do we have?
We have over 2,000.
Yeah, he's 2,000 people now know his name. So,
thank you everyone for joining us this Saturday afternoon or early evening now.
And depending on what time zone you're in, could be any time.
Brilliant analysis, Ben SW.
Thanks, Rashad. So really, what do you think of Pittsburgh so far? Have you gotten a lot of time to see the city?
Not too much time. Just looking around, it looks pretty nice. Lots of nice restaurants around here, it appears. The restaurant we went to last night was pretty good.
The original fish market.
We had a lot of sushi last night.
Yeah, it was a lot of sushi.
The reorder wasn't necessary, probably.
No.
But
it's good. It tasted good.
Yeah, it was excellent. Should find another nice place to eat tonight.
Okay.
Any of viewers out there recommend a place in Pittsburgh? We'll see if we'll take your recommendations into consideration.
Well, we'll consider them carefully, and so I wonder what Tom's sideboarding here, because Psychic Barrier is a card that maybe they would have brought in against the Valakut deck, but it looks like Tom was playing that main deck. He's probably going to board in like Flash Freeze.
Yeah, Flash Freeze is the most common. Some of these are playing Torpor Orb now, which is fine against Valakut. Slows them down.
The problem with Torpor Orb is that it shuts off your own Hawks, which is a occupational hazard.
Yeah, but you don't have to play Torpor Orb right away.
That's true.
You Hawk up and then you Torpor Orb.
But also the other problem is Torpor Orb on its own is not going to beat a Primeval Titan.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you can play it and then attack and attack and attack. It's the same problem with Leonin Arbiter, right? Like, you might be able to get them to not search for one turn with Leonin Arbiter, but then the next turn, when they attack with it, they're surely going to have 2 mana to pay. And, stalling them for a turn in a blue-white control deck isn't really enough. Maybe in a white weenie deck, Leonin Arbiter is much more...
Yeah, but I'm not sure how many cards Callblade normally takes out. So depending on the room in the deck, you bring them in or not.
And for the Valakut deck, we saw that Tim Landau wasn't even boarding any cards against Callblade. He thought the matchup was so good, and it looks like gaudenis might be pre-boarded for Callblade with those main deck Nature's Claims. So I'm curious to see if he even sideboarded at all, and if he did, what he brought in. Looks like players are drawing their opening hands. And I think both of them are going to keep, and gaudenis starts off with a tapped Raging Ravine. Tom picks up a Day of Judgment and passes back with a similar man land, Celestial Colonnade.
Mountain there for gaudenis. And the 2-drop is going to be, the 2 Cascos is going to be Rampant Growth right here. Grabbing a mountain.
So if he does that, you've got to assume that gaudenis has a forest in hand.
Yeah, typically you go for your double forest early.
So it's some information that Tom might be able to scope out. It's not important this turn, but it will be important next turn because if Tom has a Tectonic Edge, he's probably not going to cast it this turn to try to bluff gaudenis, to take out that second green, the Raging Ravine, take out a green source. Once gaudenis gets to 4 lands.
It's preordained for Tom right here. Tom's hand had the Day of Judgment and Mana Leak in there. Didn't see much beyond that. Go probably also brought in more Oracles if he wasn't playing any main deck. Oracle is a pretty strong card against the Call Blade, Call Go decks.
Yeah. That is true. Although it does turn their dismembers on, so it's really, only just a 1-turn
Tom
shot.
does have dismember, but some people might take him out, especially if they see you're not playing Overgrown Battlement.
That's
what are
true.
you hitting after that?
You're
But it looked
taking
like
1
Tom
damage from a Primeval Titan. I'll take 1, and then you block with a Squadron Hawk, and it's dead.
That never happens.
The combo kill. That was the plan, right? The 2-for-1 yourself.
And 2 for 1 and 5 life, so you still take 6, I guess.
You only take 5.
No, you only take 5. So you save a life.
No, you only take 4.
Oh, you take
Plus the dismember. That's
yeah,
8.
you only take
You take
4.
more damage.
What are you talking about? You dismember
Dismember's 4.
Primeval
More
Titan.
life. Doesn't Primeval... Oh, yeah, Primeval Titan.
Yeah, you only
Blocks
take
with
4.
Squadron. Yeah, you only
that's
take
right.
4. You
This play's
save,
getting better and better.
save 2 damage.
I don't even know what I was thinking.
Right, back to the actual match.
So, gaudenis plays Terramorphic Expanse.
I'm sure he only has 1 of those in his deck. Positive.
You don't like Terramorphic Expanse?
No, it's not that I don't like it. I'm sure he just has 1. Just 1.
I wonder what's in Go's hand. Maybe he has a similar slow start that he had first game.
Well, this isn't that slow. Well, I guess it is slow. I thought he played 1 ramp spell, but he didn't. He played the ramp spell called "I'm on the play."
No, I thought he played a Rampant Growth on 2 to get that second mountain.
Yeah, I thought he did too.
Because this would
But
be
now
turn
it's-
3, so he played his 3rd land, which was Terramorphic Expanse,
Yeah, okay.
and Tom has played 3 lands. So wait, no, this should be because Go was on the play.
Yeah, now I'm curious why gaudenis decided to go get a mountain with that being his 4th land and Tectonic Edge to blow up the 1 green source. Is this bait? Does gaudenis actually have a forest in his hand?
Even if he does, you have to have 2 forests in your hand for it to make sense, especially because
Or forest and a ramp spell. Like if your plan for next turn is ramp spell, then if you have
Maybe.
forest, then you're fine. You go forest, ramp spell, forest. And then Tom Martell's down the land.
so Tom is going to take out Raging Ravine.
Down the land, and now he can't offer any counter resistance.
Yeah, I guess if he plays an Oracle Moldiah this turn, that'd be strong. I see a Verdant Catacombs and a forest.
And Go drew a Infernal Titan for a turn.
Okay, so Go's just going to pass it back.
Deprive picked up for Tom, so he might not be playing a bunch of flash freezes if he has Deprive also.
So gaudenis goes and fetches a forest at end of turn.
How do I get to little pop-up window?
And let's see if Go has a 4-drop. Doesn't look like it from what I can see in his hand. Looks like he draws Evolving Wilds. We'll throw that one down. He's really, as you said, on a slow ramps.
So O-Ring for Tom. Now his hand is Metal Leak, Sun Titan, Day of Judgment, O-Ring, and Deprive. It's a lot of resistance against Go.
And Go, it doesn't look like has any Summoning Trap in his hand, so if he tries to cast a Titan this turn,
It's just
And-
gonna get, he has to assume it's going to get mana leaked.
Yeah.
If he just runs any type of Titan.
which means that Go's probably going to start with Inferno Titan.
Oh, unless you draw Summoning Trap.
Yep.
Well, in which case you still start with Inferno.
Yeah, I agree.
And Tom has protection from both spells, too.
He does. He does have 2 mana leaks and Deprive, so. Looks like Go is going to cast Inferno Titan. That's going to get mana leaked. Unless Tom wants to resolve and then he can cast Wrath of God, but I don't think you really want to tap out. Yeah, so mana leak is the counter of choice.
See if Go uses a Summoning Trap now.
I mean, you have to, right?
I'd assume so.
Where else are you playing a card?
I mean, he could put it. Well,
Okay.
I guess not.
He's probably waiting for an opportunity where Tom is tapped lower.
Ooh, a Dispel drawn by Tom. That's further protection from Summoning Trap. An Explore.
I think Go's just going to keep on eating counter spells with his Inferno Titans here.
Unfortunately for him, Tom has,
Plenty of them.
I've
Plenty
played this
counters.
type of magic. Just
tap out for my big guy,
Yeah,
get countered.
yeah,
Tap out for my guy, get countered.
sometimes that's the plan.
Is it fun?
So, I got. Do you have more counters than I have big guys? Sometimes you just have more big guys.
Okay, so now Gaudenis pulls the trigger on Summoning Trap.
Is satisfied with the number of counters already
And
used.
there's that dispel that he didn't have a turn ago.
Now Forest for Go.
So now Go is, thinking there's no more counter spells that Tom can have, but Tom both has a counter spell and just drew that Torpor Orb, so he can slam that Torpor Orb down and cast Deprive on.
On whatever spell that Gaudenis plays.
Yeah, I mean the last big guy in Gaudenis' hand is a Primeval Titan, so
He's just hoping. Please, one time, spell resolve.
Go draws Colony Heart Expedition, go along with his Explorer and Primeval Titan.
I mean, if he's on his plan, I think he has to go for the Titan.
Yep,
That's all he can do. Go for
Tom's
the
almost
Titan,
assuredly going to deprive that.
obviously.
Although he does have an Oblivion Ring in hand, so he could just let it resolve, cast Oblivion Ring on his turn, but because of Torpor Orb.
Oh, that's what he does.
Yep, so he lets it resolve. Tom's going to draw
Celestial Colony.
Celestial Colonnade. Cast Oblivion Ring, or Day of Judgment, sure.
So Gaudenis gets another turn to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, now if Gaudenis draws a land or a Titan, he has a potential redraw
It looks
from
like he
Explorer.
drew a Titan.
He drew a Titan.
No, he drew
Oh,
a Nature's Claim. So Explore. I didn't see what card Go drew.
Looks like he drew a Titan. I'm just going to say that for every card.
Oh yeah?
Looks like he drew a Titan.
And is that an Oracle Moldiah?
Yeah, it looks like an Oracle Moldiah.
Looks like he drew it. Oh. Okay, it's Oracle on the back.
And
There's a
reveals
Valakut.
Valakut, so that's one
I
land.
guess we play that land.
And Gaudenis has 5 mountains.
Oh, look at that. There's another Summoning Trap. But then it doesn't have another creature to take advantage of it. But he does have 6 land. So next turn he can put on some pressure. Definitely.
So Tom has to decide if he wants to try to handle this Oracle Moldiah, or is he going to let go, try to go nuts with it? He does have a Tectonic Edge in hand.
I mean, Oracle Moldiah plus Valakut and, 5 mountains already in play.
Yeah, I think I see Dismember in
Pretty
Tom's hand,
dangerous.
so Tom's probably going to Dismember, take out Valakut with Tectonic Edge.
There goes Valakut. And Dismember for the Oracle Moldiah. I'll flip the card face down.
And we all know what Gaudenis is going to draw this turn, so. So Gaudenis has a Summoning Trap, a Nature's Claim, and one other card that I don't remember what it was.
You can't remember the last card either.
And Tom has a Sun Titan.
Oh, the Expedition.
Oh, he has a Coney Hot Expedition. Tom has Sun Titan, and does he still have an Oblivion?
He has Oblivion Ring, and he has the Deprive he hasn't played yet.
So right now, not a lot of action. The game is going to be won right now, but Tom's in a pretty good position to not lose, barring whatever threats Gaudenis can pull off the top of his deck.
serious look of Tom right there. Robey Van Humphries.
I'll have the oyster sampler.
Thanks, Tom. I wish we had a picture of it so everyone could see Tom working.
So you do the side by side.
Another Torpor Orb for Tom. He'll probably play this, kind of slows down gaudenis play.
Hey,
Nature's
let's
Claim.
just make sure we're never having coming to play effects.
Is it a Primeval Titan that was true? Oh, Verdant Catacombs. So add a counter to Colony Heart Expedition.
So being able to crack that expedition is going to help, get a couple land out of his deck. Give him a couple of more percentage points in drawing a non-land spell or a spell.
Yeah, like, every point matters. So
I'm always a fan of that. I always feel better when I can cast a spell and get 2 land out of my deck or 3 land. I feel a little bit better than not getting that land out.
So Tom passes a turn. Let's see if Go decides to go with the summoning trap.
I see what you did there. I was waiting for someone to do that. I didn't want to.
That was an accident. That was a total accident. Started thinking about what I was doing.
All right, so 2 counters on that expedition. 1 more counter, you can sacrifice it, get 2 basic land from his library. Again, want to thank Pez for running a nice and smooth event. Those guys are located out of the Michigan area. They made the trip over to Pittsburgh to...
Is that 10, 12-hour trip or something like
I
that?
don't think it's that long. I think
It's 8 hours from Chicago.
To get to Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
So then it's shorter.
Was it short? Okay.
Yeah, you got to go 5 hours through Detroit to get to here.
Oh, I don't know how the path goes to here.
I don't know if you have to go through Detroit, but Detroit's 5 hours from Chicago. So it's probably like 3 hours for...
And that's not bad. And Go doesn't play the summoning trap. Tom draws a Seachrome Coast for his turn. And here comes Sun Titan. Torpor Orb
Nothing
affects
to get
everyone.
Wow, he doesn't... Oh, he can't because of the Torpor Orbs.
Here comes Summoning Trap. So Go... Let's see what he gets.
See land of Valakut so far.
And there's a Primeval Titan.
Primeval Titan. How lucky.
He'll be able to kill the Sun Titan too after he attacks.
Yeah, so no trading.
Yeah, but as long as he activates his Colony Heart before blocks.
Gaudenis is a 2-time Grand Prix champion. I'm pretty sure he could figure this one out.
He's
Although both of those Grand Prix were limited, I think. So
he's also practicing law in New York, so he's a bright guy. He won't miss this. So Gaudenis, you imagine he'll get 2 Valakuts right there. And then pump up the Colony Hearts and then search for 2 mountains. 6 are going to go to the Sun Titan, 6 are going to go to Tom, and then 6 are from the
he's looking around like there's another target. He's like 6 to your Sun Titan, 6 to you.
And now that will drop Tom to only 4, so if Go has a mountain at any point, or at any point this turn, he could win. We know that Tom has the Oblivion Ring, but Go does have the Nature's Claim, which he would have used on the Torpor Orb. But another one came into play.
There you go, Oblivion Ring. And in the turn, Nature's Claim. Is there a Dispel in Tom's hand? No, there's no Dispel, so he scoops him up. We're going to game 3.
Game 3. Tom's hand would seem really good against what Go did the whole game, and
well, Tom's hand didn't have any. It didn't have any offense. It didn't have any way to win. All it had was some counter spells and some answers, and then the one threat that he did drop, he played, and then he lost the game.
He could have probably played the Sun Titan a little earlier, but
I thought he just drew the land. I thought he went 6-land Sun Titan. If he did,
it might have been that.
If he didn't use his Tectonic Edge,
yeah, he used it pretty early.
But it was on a Valakut. You can't blame him for that.
Yeah, but he could have changed his play and save it for later.
This was the game where he used one of his Tectonic Edges on the green source, right?
Oh, the Raging Ravine.
Was
right.
It
was a Raging Ravine. Because Go then slow rolled his other green sources for a while.
Yeah.
So Tom could have made some changes and would have been able to win this game, but as it is, we're going to see a game 3.
I like seeing game 3s. I like seeing games. I like seeing good games. I like seeing good games live.
Yeah, I wish there was a site that showed that stuff.
There should be. I call it Good Games L.
GGL.com?
No,
I'm going to register that name now. 13 minutes left in this round, so a decent amount of time for these players. If you're just joining us, this is Grand Prix Pittsburgh standard event. We're in round 7 of 9 of day 1. Tomorrow we'll be broadcasting every single round, right?
Yep, every round of day 2.
Including top 8. So join us bright and early in the morning, 9 a.m. Eastern.
Yep, we're watching Tom Martell, who's playing Cobblade, playing against gaudenis vidugiris, who is playing Valakut. And in the booth, we have Ray Pesalon, Rashad Miller, and Ben SW is running in and out of the booth.
Yeah, he ran somewhere.
He's in, he's out.
He kind of urgently ran away, so I'm kind of wondering where he went.
We may have a special guest appearance by Robe Van Humphreys later in the tournament. We'll see if we can get him. He's a very busy man.
And if you guys aren't following us on Facebook, you can check it out there, facebook.com/GG's Live Fans. Get all our updates. Let you know when videos are up, along with all our live feeds when you guys aren't paying attention. Of course, on Twitter @GG's Live. And our website itself, ggslive.com. So Tom leads off the game with preordained.
Looks like he's going to put one on top and one on bottom. Or both on top. And Valakut is all gaudenis has on his first turn. Tom has a second preordained. Looks like he's going to keep that same one he kept on top, the other one on the bottom. That one he kept was a Torpor Orb.
Yeah, we saw Torpor Orb last game slow down gaudenis a lot. But in the end, gaudenis was still able to pull it off.
Torpor Orb against Valakut is just a card that doesn't make Valakut lose.
Yeah, it doesn't do enough.
Yeah, it just stops them a turn. It makes the Titans not as crazy. It just makes them a normal creature with attack ability. It doesn't do both.
I mean, it also makes your Oblivion Rings and Day of Judgments much better in that sense against the Titans, but
I don't know if that's the plan against Valakut.
Yeah. To 1-2 punch them with those two cards.
Yeah, the plan isn't to let them get to 6 mana and then start 1-for-1 in their threats with the Torpor Orb in play. Or maybe that is Tom's plan. Maybe that's the best plan that...
I mean, maybe it is if you've got a couple Hawks out and you're dealing 3 damage a turn, and you've got a reasonable clock, and then 1-for-1ing them without letting them get any advantage off their Titans is okay, but...
I haven't seen a Hawk from Tom Martell game 2, and I don't see one in his hand. I didn't look very hard, but I don't see one in his hand game 3. Maybe it's possible that he boards him out because he's boarding in Torpor Orb.
That's one way to play it. Looks like he kept in his Dismember, so he's going to be able to use that Dismember on the Oracle Moldiah. But Oracle was able to already get some advantage against Tom.
So Tom has a Celestial Colony drawn for a turn, and then Glacial Fortress off the Jace Bellery.
Along with the Torpor Orb that he drew off in the previous turn, and Oblivion Ring. He's going to Dismember, taking out the Oracle of Moldiah. That will stop any shenanigans.
Flip back now, Colony Art. He'll remember once he draws it.
And Tom plays another enter the battlefield tap land in the form of Celestial Colonnade before casting Torpor Orb. So now, I mean, Tom didn't have a counterspell anyway, but now gaudenis is completely safe in untapping.
Playing some sort of 6-drop.
Yeah, although Tom is also safe because he knows that gaudenis isn't going to draw land, because he knows that that one card was Colony Heart Expedition, and he didn't cast an extra, or he didn't play an extra land last turn. He only played one for his turn, even with the Oracle, right? Because he cast a turn 2.
Yeah, that's right. Well, maybe gaudenis is saving it or something, because it looks like the card behind.
Oh, never mind. He did play 2 lands that turn,
okay.
So yeah, he does have a mountain in his hand, and looks like he might have a Primeval Titan. I guess not if he's just attacking with Raging Ravine. Can't quite tell what gaudenis has, but he'll play that mountain and pass the turn back. Now Tom needs like a Tectonic Edge or something good. I guess he's got another Jace. If you're Tom here and you've got Tectonic Edge, what do you Tectonic Edge? Which land?
I think you always go for the Valakut.
I think I just go with a Velo.
But he only has 2 green sources, and you can take out one of the green sources.
Let's go the Raging Ravine. I guess I'd definitely hit Raging Ravine if he's attacking with it again.
Yeah, but you wanna activate Tectonic Edge on your turn to keep him off 6 lands.
That's true. Not sure. Raging Ravine's probably right though, since he does only have the 1 green source.
I don't know. This deck has a lot of green sources, and they're in the form of rampant growth and cards like that.
I mean, I guess you're right that Tom isn't putting on a clock against gaudenis, so slowing him down for a couple turns isn't really accomplishing much. But if Tom had, a clock, then maybe it would be a more reasonable play.
Oh, yeah, that is definitely different. But I think it looks like Tom's plan this matchup is just to become this super duper controlling deck. I haven't seen any threats in his deck aside from the Colonnades and the 1 Sun Titan that he cast and then lost the game. No, I haven't seen a Hawk. I haven't seen anything other than that card.
Tom may have taken out Hawks.
Why would you take out Hawks and board in Sun Titan when you're playing Torpor, where the rationale behind taking out your Hawks is that you don't want them to get Torpor Orb in the way?
A Hawk by themselves, if you just play 1 Hawk, it's not as good as playing 1 Sun Titan. Because you play the Hawk to draw.
Right, but you at least have the ability to play turn 2 Hawk and then cast Torpor Orb on turn 4. That's fine, but you can't ever cast really Torpor Orb to hit their Titans before you cast your Titan, right? Or after you cast your Titan.
Titan's still fine through a Torpor Orb.
I agree with you, but you're still losing quite a bit of value. So Tom here is going to get in with Celestial Colonnade, now bringing the beats, putting gaudenis on a 5-turn clock, dropping him to 16 life. Assuming that, gaudenis didn't really have anything because he's continually activated his Raging Ravine the past couple turns.
It's funny that this Raging Ravine may be going all the way.
And Primeval Titan was the card drawn right off of gaudenis' deck. $16, not 26, Rusty.
So see if Go decides to just play. Does he have a Nature's Claim in hand or anything?
He does have a Nature's Claim in hand, but I assume that's going to get dispelled if he tries to cast it before he casts the Primeval Titan.
So it looks like Nature's Claim might come end of turn. And
He's going to cast Colony Heart Expedition. He's going to cast a second one. He's going to pass the turn.
He doesn't have another green source to rampant growth.
Nope.
He is setting up for a big turn. Actually, he's able to win with just Valakut right now. Not win immediately, but Valakut is a legitimate threat.
Yeah, I mean, with Tom's at 15 life, right? So he gets 4 triggers, which is 12, plus 1 more with rampant growth.
Yeah,
so.
but he can just target the Colonnade if he ever tries to attack, because he has an instant speed ramp.
No, but I think he wins next turn if he draws a mountain. If he draws a land, gaudenis wins next turn. So Celestial Colonnade's going to get in there. Drop Go down to 12. Gaudenis, I wonder if he's going to crack that Terramorphic Expanse. Probably not, because he wants as many lands as possible. Okay. He'll crack it, put a counter on both of the Colony Heart Expeditions.
Probably
Go
get
get a
a
mountain.
forest here or mountain?
Mountain.
A mountain.
Yeah, we're on the mountain plan now. We got enough forests.
Go just needs one more land to trigger those Colony Heart Expeditions, get 4 triggers, and then...
Oh, forest, really? I think it's being conservative.
So now if he draws Verdant Catacombs, he wins. Does he even win? Yeah, he wins.
Yeah, because he has 5 triggers. The 2 expeditions are 4 triggers. And then the Rapid Growth is 1 more. If he has, let's see, 1, 2, 3...
He can also get in for 6 free damage here with Raging Ravine, which I think is his plan. He does draw land, so had he gotten a mountain, he would have won this turn. But I think he still wins this turn anyway, because he attacks with Raging Ravine, casts Rampant Growth, plays the land, sacks both of the Colony Hearts, and wins that way. Although he probably wants to... If Tom has like an Into the Royal, that's a card Gaudenis has to be wary of, so he's going to play Forest, put a second counter on the Colony Heart Expeditions.
Into the Royal doesn't really do much unless he responds to like the Rapid Growth.
Right, that's what I'm talking about.
But there's nothing that Gaudenis can do about that.
Yeah.
He has to go for it or not. If he has Into the Royal, he's going to do that on one of those expeditions, whether or not it's, you know, it's just, that's going to happen.
I mean, Gaudenis should still do it pre-combat in case of any...
This is 6 mana.
What is he doing? He's going to cast his Primeval Titan?
It's like a Primeval Titan.
No.
That's only 6 mana spell he has.
I think you just cast Rampant Growth. If that resolves...
Well, I think he has another Expedition in his hand. That makes him win the game.
If he plays Expedition and then Rampant Growth?
No, he Expeditions. Yeah,
Expedition, Rampant Growth, then you win.
And then you just chain Expedition
but
into the Expedition.
He's going to cast Rampant Growth first. That's going to resolve.
Well, it doesn't matter. He can still cast the Expedition now and still trigger all 3 Expeditions. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If I know Gaudenis, he thought this through. Every single option.
He did the math?
He probably did some math, and he's considered everything that we've talked about.
Okay.
He's a very thoughtful player.
Here's Raging Ravine, comes in for 6 damage here.
So if that goes through, then Tom's dead.
Looks like it went through. He's at 9.
So now you crack both of those Colony Heart Expeditions and kill your opponent off with 4 triggers, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that Tom could win this game anymore.
And Tom gives a handshake. Gaudenis wins the match 2 games to 0. 2 games to 1.
Do you know what the records were?
They both had 1 loss.